Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Galaxy of Love, everybody. Cute guy, well, thank you. Helena, how are you? How are you today? Hello, Virgo Green. Thanks for being here. So is this relationship therapy, kind of? What you got going on, Naya? Let's talk about it. My day, my day's kind of just started. You know, I took my morning responding to people, coming up with video ideas. So when I get off of here, I'm going to make videos. Do my thing. Holy crow, it's Ken. Hello, Amber. Does this man ever sleep? Yes. You miss me while I'm here. Good morning. My hair's metallic brown, but thank you. Can we ask for advice? Of course, that's what I'm here for. Drop the questions. If you're new here, click the follow button. I appreciate it so much. You don't have anything going on yet? Oh. Well, hi. Sweet Candy, hello. Got some new time off, so I finally have more time for Ken Talk. Good. Missy, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it so much. We got the big hair today. It's been a while. It's been a while since I did the big hair, but it's back for today only. Diesel, good morning. I need a haircut. I don't like it. I don't like the big hair. Big hair, Ken. Eating lunch and chatting with you. I hope you're enjoying lunch. Johnny B. Hi. Also, while I'm talking off after eight weeks of just texting, no plans to meet, like nobody's trying to meet up. What are we doing? You're wasting my time. Aaron, thank you for the follow. Matthew, hello. Like, you before you cut him off, like you can try, like you can set an ultimatum of like, look, we've been talking for 8 weeks. We need to meet up, or I need to move on. Like, I can't be wasting my time. We know. Known him since 19, but no, think he's insecure, but wants to. Okay, so he's feeling insecure, and you notice that he's feeling insecure. So it's time for you to just reassure him. Give him some reassurance that you're into him. You know, like let him know how much you wanna go out. Have you been on a date though? Have you been on a date, or you just been like flirting back and forth? Ashley, hello. You're gorgeous. Well, thank you. You're welcome, Lauren. Yeah, don't let somebody waste your life. Like, that's the worst. That's the worst thing ever, when somebody just drags it out forever. Like, you're just talking and talking and talking for weeks and months. And it's like, where are we going with this? Like, you're wasting my time. Like, I could be putting my energy into somebody who wants to meet me tomorrow. You know? I could be putting my energy into somebody who's actually trying to start a relationship with me and not just flirt with me forever. David, welcome. Like, I like to get to know somebody before I meet up with them, but if we're not meeting by month 2, what the fuck are we doing? If we're not meeting up and having a date after like a month and a half at most of talking, what are we doing? Good take, well, thank you. Happy Black History Month, well, thank you. Happy Black History Month to you too. What do you think when they've taken 6 to 7 years? Ex-wife chose to sterile him? Then she cheated? Waylon, thank you for the follow. Tempest, thank you for the follow. What do you mean? What do you think when they've taken 6 to 7 years? What do you mean? Taken 6 to 7 years to do what? He said he's not interested in anyone else. Last girlfriend put him off. Well, Lauren, still, prove it. You know, like, I'm not gonna flirt with you forever. Like, it's, imagine if you let this guy drag you on for another 2 months, and then he's like, I just decided I just don't want to date. I just don't want to date Lauren. I don't want to date anybody. It's not you, it's me. I don't want to date anybody. And you're like, fuck, I wasted an entire season on you. He wasted 6 to 7 years of your life. Well, that sucks. If they did that, they're taking what you allow them. You think he's bored, so I will text Lauren. I don't know if he's necessarily bored. He could just be afraid to pull the trigger, you know? He could have a fearful avoidance, Lauren. I think you're going to have to step up, unfortunately. You're going to have to take initiative and just get your answer. Like, rip the Band-Aid off. Two months is plenty of time of talking. Like, rip the Band-Aid off. Either we're meeting up or it's time to put your energy into somebody else. Good morning from San Jose. Hello. It's like you're the most valuable player, not first place trophy. Let's do harder level. Sorry. Been there with my ex-husband. It's awful when somebody wastes your years. Like, hopefully you can look within those years and find some sort of gold in there, like some sort of growth in yourself, so it's not a complete waste. You know, like, my longest relationship was 3.5 years with a narcissist, and she ended cheating on me with her cousin, which is hilarious. So that, like, lessens the blow, but it still sucks. But I wouldn't consider that nearly 4 years to be wasted. You know, it sucked that it had to happen, but I still enjoyed those 4 years, and I grew so much as a person in them. So if you can look for the good in them, of 23 years with a narcissist, damn. So Chan, thank you for the follow. Learn the hard way. Bear now. Her cousin, yeah. Her cousin. Which I love. I love that it's her cousin so that it's funny. If I was the first to treat her well, and I made mistakes in fights, and says that hurts her, then believe her. If somebody says something hurts them, believe them. And make it right. Oswald, that's all you can do. If you're the first person to treat her right in a relationship, you made a mistake in a fight, and she says that hurts, believe her and apologize. And figure out how you can go forward to not let something like that happen again. And same with her. If she hurts you, you have to express that pain as well. so that she can not do it in the future. You know, like relationships are all about learning each other. We're not going to get into a relationship and never fight, never have problems. Like we're learning a new person. Not every person is the same. Not every person has the same needs. You know, so like one thing that hurts one person is not going to hurt the other. Like for example, my ex-girlfriend, you can't make jokes at her expense. You can't tease her. You can't you can't be sarcastic because she takes it very personal. Me, you can be sarcastic and tease me all day. I just laugh it off because I know it's a joke. You know, like we're all different. You have to figure out each other's triggers and what bothers somebody and communicate them and learn how to not push those buttons in the future. Controlled Chaos, hello. The Couch Gallery, welcome. Her cousin, yes, Amber, her cousin. Her cousin, how low can you go? I'm happy that it's her cousin because it's funny. You know, it lessens the blow. If it were just some random guy, it's like, damn. But the fact that it's her cousin, it's funny. You know? Like it's a punchline. 12 years with the narc question, does meeting up within 2 months count for long distance as well? Does meeting up within 2 months count for long distance as well? No. Long distance is a little bit different. I would still, like, after talking for 2 months, there should at least be plans to meet up. You know, like, you're talking for 2 months, you should be at least planning. But, again, don't be giving a whole season to somebody. If it's long distance and you don't have plans to meet up by month 3 or 4, what are we doing? You know? Like, it is a little different. But yeah, like, if it's local, I say talk for like 3 weeks to a month before you have a first date. Like, after giving somebody a month who's local and there's like no plans to meet up, you're kind of wasting my time. If they're long distance, again, like, we've been talking for 2 months and there's no plan. There's no talk of plans, you're wasting my time. She left me and I really said sorry. She was my first. Is playing hard to get really a thing that works? Playing hard to get works with unhealthy people. It will not work with a healthy person. So you can get the people who you're frustrated with. As long as there's plans. As long as there's plans to meet. Currently waiting for my date. Good morning, handsome man. Hello, good morning. What are 1 or 2 things that are immediate red flags in the talking stage? Low empathy. Any sort of low empathy, like if we get into a fight in the talking stage, or if something bothers me in a talking stage and you don't care that it bothers me, that's a red flag. Trying to make you feel bad for something that you shouldn't have to feel bad about is a red flag. For example, one of the first red flags of my last girlfriend We were on the phone before we ever met, and she was like asking me questions about my ex-girlfriend, and then I answered her questions, and she hung up like mid conversation. She just hung up and she wouldn't pick up the phone, and then she sent me a text and she's like, "I just don't feel like you're over your ex-girlfriend yet." I'm like, "Girl, you asked me. That's not what I said." But I just ignored her text, and then she ended up apologizing. She's like, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have got mad when I asked the question," you know. But that was a red flag of like when people just look for reasons to be upset with you. That's a red flag. Like any sort of manipulation, low empathy, like look out. What does it mean if your ex started watching all your Facebook stories and likes posts out of nowhere? Mr. Jones, it means that they're baiting you. They want you to reach out to them. They're hoovering. So I don't know your ex. I don't know if they're narcissists or not. I don't know how toxic they are. But if you want to make that relationship work out, go for it. But if not, don't give in. Let them look at your stories. Let them like your posts. Just move on with your life. She left me. Thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate it so much. She left me 4 months ago. And she says she moved on. And I did say sorry, and I begged. Oh, well, she moved on. There's nothing else you can do but move on as well, Oswald. Maybe things work out again in the future, but for the time being, she's moved on. It was 4 months ago. Move on with your life. Maybe she comes back in a year. But if she's already moved on, there's nothing you can do but live your best life too. Such good advice. Well, thank you, Lauren. I play easy to get, but that doesn't work either. Easy to get works with somebody healthy. If somebody likes you for real and you're just natural and flowing, they're going to appreciate that. The only person who doesn't like somebody who's natural and flowing and like easy to get along to, easy to talk to, easy to quote unquote get are unhealthy people. You don't want them. You don't want those people anyway. If somebody doesn't appreciate you for being open and loving and caring and being a good communicator and texting pretty frequent, you don't want to date those people. Who cares? That's my thing is like, people are so worried about texting too much, but for the right person, you can't text the right person too much. That's not a thing. You can only text the wrong person too much. So if my amount of texting is suffocating, it feels clingy to you, I want to know that from the start. You know, I don't want to figure out that you're an avoidant 2 years in. I want to know from the start that you're an avoidant and that you can't handle clinginess. You can't handle affection and love. Like, let me know immediately. Like, please ghost me. You know, if my texting too much makes you feel suffocated, please ghost me. Don't waste my time. I ate too much rice, now I'm sleepy. Genoa, hello. Jules, thank you for the football. Is it ever a good idea to just leave things alone and focus on yourself because trying to find someone is tiring? Absolutely, Sam. You know, like, never feel a pressure to find another person. Focus on your life. Build your life. Get to where you want to be. You know, get to a place where you're happy and you don't need somebody, but you want somebody. I'm just jamming to the radio and hanging out with you. Well, thank you for hanging out, Erica. Low empathy shows exactly what we went through with narcissists. Exactly. Good morning, Dag. Couch Gallery, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it so much. Andrea, hello. It's been 2 months since we talked. Should I remove them from Facebook? If you want to, that's up to you, Mr. Jones. Like, again, were they toxic or did things just not work out? Like, could you see yourself dating them again in the future? But you need a break. You need a little reset. Maybe you need to work on yourself. Maybe they need to work on themselves. That's up to you. That's a choice you need to make, Mr. Jones, if you remove them from your Facebook or not. I feel like every serious couple should do counseling together. How early should you start? I would start at least when the power struggle stage happens. When you're trying to figure out your life, trying to figure out the roles in each other's life, who does what chores, who provides what, who pays for this, who pays for that. That's probably the time to go to counseling for sure. Because it's going to happen. The power struggle always comes. And a lot of people, the power struggle comes in the marriage. So they'll get married in the honeymoon. Like the honeymoon isn't just that first couple of months where everything feels great. Like the honeymoon can last for a year. There's no fighting. But eventually you're going to start pushing back a little bit. Eventually you're going to disagree. And the problem is people get married in the honeymoon stage, the power struggle comes and they can't handle it, they get divorced. So once the power struggle starts and there's just a communication barrier, a communication barrier usually comes from opposite insecure attachment styles. Like one person's anxious, one person's avoidant. Like the anxious person is just pleading to be heard, and the avoidant person gets frustrated, they feel criticized, and they shut down. So that's when it's time for counseling for sure. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. Only tried with unhealthy people. I need a new pool of men. You'll never be too much for the right person, I keep saying lately. Exactly. Well said, everything. Make it easy. Love or I'm not gonna try. Playing hard to get is for insecurity, 100%. Is it a red flag that she asked some friends' opinions to break up with me? Absolutely. I think it's super unhealthy to talk to your friends about your relationship. If you need to talk to somebody about your relationship, do it. Do it with maybe a sibling, definitely a counselor, a therapist, a counselor. Talk to them. Don't talk to your friends about your relationship. The problem with talking to your friends about the relationship is in the beginning, your friends will give good advice usually in the beginning. But it never fails. They always turn on your partner eventually. 100% of the time, your friend is going to turn on your partner. And it's just going to be constant, leave them, leave them, leave them, just leave them, just leave them, just leave them. Like that's their solution for everything because they're tired of hearing it. And the friend is probably putting up with way worse shit in their life. But for you, it's like, oh, he didn't eat his pizza with a fork. Break up with him, girl. You deserve know your worth. Don't talk to your friends about your partner. Like you should want everybody in your life to love who you're with. So if you need some counseling, talk to a counselor. Somebody who's not a part of your life and isn't going to change the energy in the room when your partner is around, because it happens without fail. Like you don't want the boys to hate your girl, and you don't want your girls to hate your boy. Like that's an awful place to be. You want supportive friends, you want a supportive family for your relationship. What do guys find most attractive about girls non-superficial? Kindness is very attractive. Empathy is very attractive to me. So if you're kind, like that, you're a good communicator, sign me up. I love that. I'm not someone who needs someone. I'm someone who hopes I end up with someone in the end. Well, that's awesome, Sam. Let's see what I did there with your name. There was a guy I was talking to for a month, and he just stopped one day and he blocked me. He may have had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend saw and made him block you, Andrea. Or he got a new girlfriend, and she made him block you. Hello from Scotland in the UK. Hi. I dated a sociopath, and at another point, an abusive narcissist, so I'm actually really good single. Krish, hello. Is it another red flag that I asked for a break and she didn't give it to me, but she needs a break from me? Needing a break is a red flag from both of you. Both of you are red flags there. Oswald. Stay fan, hello. Hi from the Philippines. Like when you're married, there's no such thing as a break. So why are you doing it in a relationship? Like you need to figure your shit out. You need to figure out your problems. We don't take breaks. A break is a breakup. Like, are we figuring this shit out or no? I don't believe in breaks. Quinn's welcome. Break up, exactly. Like a break is just an excuse to cheat. You're welcome, Oswald. Hi, Kiwi Bird. Like if somebody asks for a break, just move on at that point. Like, break up and find somebody else. Because even if you get back together after the break, and even if you talk it out and you're like, no, we're not doing a break because you don't take breaks in marriage. Like, you do a whole little rant like I did, and they're like, yeah, I guess you're right. Still fucking leave that person. Leave that person. They're already thinking of leaving you. They're going to leave you eventually. Do you use hyaluronic acid serums? I don't know. I just started and I look even younger now. I'm gonna hyaluronic acid serums. I know I have in the past because my ex would get free skincare all the time. But I'll check. Kiwi Bread, thank you for letting me know. Quint, hello. Aisha, welcome. I know breaks are stupid. They really mean they want space. But from what exactly? They can have all the space. They can be a fucking astronaut. Like, leave planet Earth for all I care. You want space? Go to the nearest fucking star and burn. Good Molecules is the one I use. Good Molecules is awesome. I love that company. All those red flag talks. I love the fact that you're wearing deeper necks than I do. Advanced Night Repair. Aisha, thank you for resubscribing as a Love Ranger. STA Lauder. I don't know if I've tried them. I have tried Good Molecule before, though. When I used to get mad in a fight and I didn't want to talk to see her because then I say something. Yeah, it's okay to ask for space. Like, ask for time to cool off. But that time to cool off should only be a couple hours. Like, if you need days, like, figure your shit out. Like, take some space, but we're figuring this shit out before bed. You know, there are a couple of celebrities who I've seen, like, TikToks or, like, shorts of just being like, oh, we go to bed angry. Like, it's okay. Like, we give each other the space to go to bed angry. No, fuck that shit. Never go to bed angry. Like, those people are avoidance. Who can go to sleep without solving something, without solving a problem, without coming to a conclusion. Those are avoidance. A tip that I've heard before that obviously I would love to implement. Before you fight, before you argue, just get it on. You know, make that sweet love and then talk about it. You know, you're having an argument, you take a pause, you're like, all right, we're disagreeing, let's go at it. Let's go at it, and then we'll talk after. And you just make that sweet love or angry love, whatever it is. And then you talk about it. You're both much more calm and much more open to listening to each other and hearing each other and what they're saying. So make love. And in the middle of a heated argument, take a pause and be like, look, we're screaming at each other. We're not getting anywhere. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to rumble. And then we'll come back to this. This one is just $24, so it's winning for me in the price range. I work for the #1 serum. Super solid on them. We talked about some red flags, but what are some yellow flags that are concerning? I call those magenta flags. A magenta flag, you would have to tell me in the moment, and I'd be like, okay, that's a magenta flag. Like, look out for that. So if you, for example, somebody asks a question and they're like, is this a red flag? And I'm like, almost. Like, it's not a red flag, but it could be a magenta flag. You just have to tell me in the moment, and then I'll let you know. Like, I can't think of any magenta flags off the top of my head. Because the thing with a magenta flag is you need context. I mean, it's also good to go for a walk and calm down before you talk to, if you're getting too upset. Yeah, but walking is way less fun than... Red flag's just plain dress up until you're comfortable. Concerning but isn't run kind of flag, as long as y'all can talk about it. Hi, Juliet. Yeah, I'd have to really think. Couch Gallery, hello. Because that's the thing is like I just don't look for reasons something could be a problem. You know, either something is a problem or it's not a problem. I don't look for things. I'll tell you what a magenta flag is. Women who think their guy friends, women who are hot that think their guy friends don't want to sleep with them. That's a magenta flag. You know, like either you know and you're lying to me because you enjoy the supply that they get, or you're just genuinely naive. You know, if you're genuinely naive, that's fine. But if you're lying to me because you like the supply, now we're in the cluster B territory. That's a magenta flag. Is hot women who think that their friends actually are just friends, and would never, they would never try to get in the way of us. They would never try to sleep with me. I would never sleep with my friend's guys or girl. But that's the thing is like women can be friends with guys, but guys can't be friends with women. So like keep your friend guys, but just understand the truth. As long as you understand the truth, it's fine. And you're setting boundaries with them, it's fine. You can be friends with whoever you want. But just know they're not friends with you. User 36, hi. Kisses from Mexico, thank you. I gotta go. Thank you for your time. I'll be back. Thanks for being here, Lauren. Everybody who's new here, click the follow button. I appreciate it so much. Double tap the screen. Follow me on Instagram at SuperKenGaming. Y'all are the best. And thank you for the gifts. Drop those corgis. Everybody who drops a corgi today, I'm gonna follow you back. If I don't follow you yet. I'll try to think of more magenta flags as we go. CC Ryder, hello. Another magenta flag is somebody who disappears when they're with their friends. They won't respond to texts, they won't pick up phone calls. That's a magenta flag. The reason it's a magenta flag and not a red flag is that when they come home, because they could just be unhealthy and not understand why their partner needs them to check in while they're out because they don't need it, because they're avoidant. So you can talk and let them know how much it bothers you and ask them to check in a little bit while they're out. And if they're willing to check in, then okay. It was just a magenta flag, they're good. They're just an avoidant, they're not a narcissist. But if they try to gaslight you, if they try to make you feel bad and call you needy, then that magenta flag turns into a red flag. A time in Friends when Ross was insecure about Rachel's guy friend co-worker, and he was like, he just wants to sleep with you. And Rachel was like, that doesn't mean he gets to. Yeah, as long as you can set boundaries. But that is, they do want to sleep with you. But as long as you set boundaries, everything is good. The problem with girls who pretend, like, oh, they would never, is they don't set boundaries. Because they either like the supply or they're just naive. You know, they think, this random guy I met at an airport, he just likes my hair. This guy who complimented me in Starbucks, he likes my hair. Of course he likes my hair. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's because they separate their licensed version of them they portray with each group of people. Exactly. Like that could be the truth, Couch Gallery. And that's why it's important to pay attention to how they react to you expressing your discomfort to them disappearing. But exactly, they're mirroring who they're with is a red flag. Like, if you don't like who your partner becomes when they're around their friends, it's because they're mirroring. It's a red flag. That's a red flag as fuck. Of like, you become an asshole when you're around your friends, you become a bitch when you're around your friends. They're probably mirroring. They're probably cluster B if they become somebody different when they're with their friends. Erica, thank you for the likes. And somebody different as in super distant. Snappy. They backtalk. They treat you like shit. When they're with you, they're loving and they're caring, but when they're with their friends, they treat you like complete shit. Red flag. I feel she gave up on me fast. We were together 2 years and 2 months. I'm sorry, Oswald. Trying to get to 5,000 likes. We did it. We're 100 likes away. I appreciate the likes so much. Or how about throwing your weakness, like throw back in to disguise their own shit? Like throwing something you're insecure at you. Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. I did promise her change and she still left me. Like, I used to pretend that things bothered me more than they did just to see if somebody's going to throw it back at me. For example, I remember when I was like 23 years old and like I had a girlfriend and your boy got big pores and I'm like, I need some surgery on my pores. Get these babies reduced. And we got into a fight and she said I had big ass pores in a fight. I was like, oh, there it is. We're done. Had my ex share my wins and losses in life with everyone before I got a chance to. His own life was just too boring. But still helped to give his parents gang up on me, trying to figure life out in his early 20s instead. Yeah, somebody is like trying to take digs at you in a fight, make fights personal, instead of about the subject. Like if they're trying to change the subject and take digs at you based on something you're not even talking about, like that's a red flag for sure. I thought you were 23 now. I'm 31. If I were 23, 23-year-old me was a dummy. He was good with sales, but he was not good with relationships. I started to be good at relationships probably around like 26. 25, 26. That's when I started really working on myself as a partner and not just as a individual. 23 is a dumb age for all of us. What did you do back then, if you don't mind sharing? I was a promoter for a weight loss company when I was 20 years old. So my entire focus was business and sales and the psychology of sales. Oliver X did worse and left her, and I barely did nothing, and she broke up with me. Facts, and I'm 23. Yeah, Oswald, that's great that you're curious at 23 of how you could have been better. And you're young, you know, you're gonna find another one of her. Like when I was 23, I for sure thought I've dated the hottest girl I've ever gonna date. And they just keep getting hotter, Oswald. They just keep getting better. I just keep upgrading and leveling up. Like every girl I date just keeps getting better and better and better and better. Like I keep climbing. My league. My league keeps climbing. So don't feel bad, Oswald. If you think this was the best girl you've ever met in your entire life, bro, you have no idea. You have no idea the women that you're going to meet throughout your life and the rest of your 20s. You got 7 years left of your 20s. You're fine. You're going to be just fine. Great seeing you. Thank you for the info. Thank you for being here, Sammy. There's lots of psychology and sales combined with weight loss. Yeah, so here's the thing about the weight loss company. She was your first girlfriend. Yeah, you'll be fine. It's hard, especially when it's your first, but you'll be fine. Learn from your mistakes. Get that perfect girl. Nobody's perfect, but we all gotta be trying. I didn't believe in the weight loss company, so all of my sales came from the opportunity and not the product. Like the product was soy based, and I just couldn't get behind it. You know, I couldn't in my heart, knowing what I knew about nutrition, push the product, so I pushed the opportunity instead. So like literally all of my sales came from the opportunity. And it got to a point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like I don't believe in the product. I gotta get out of here and do my own thing. And the rest is history. I understand you, and I'm in therapy to keep. That's awesome that you're in therapy at 23, Oswald. Since you're 31, what would you tell a 21-year-old self? Take all of your money that you don't need to eat and buy Bitcoin, and then sell it in 2019, and then rebuy it in the beginning of 2020. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen in the beginning of 2020, but just trust me. So all of it in 2019 and then buy it again at the beginning of 2020. You'll know. You'll know. You'll know. Just trust me, bro. That's what I'd tell a 21-year-old me. I would give him a financial advice and not relationship advice. Because I wouldn't take back any of my relationships except for the last one. The last one with the sociopath, I didn't need that. That was unnecessary. Perfect represents growth and willingness in a person for me. If you try, I'll support you always. I need a nap after gym. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your nap. The Bitcoin saga hit too close to home. Had someone pressure me to buying in 2020 and I didn't. Yeah, like, I remember when 2020 happened, like, I was already invested in crypto, so I had no extra money to buy more, and all my shit tanked. So I remember when Bitcoin hit like $3,000 and everybody on Twitter was laughing, like, huh, Bitcoin's $3,000, and I'm like, yeah, and it's usually $21,000, $30,000. So if you can buy some, fucking buy some. You know, like, I'm a firm believer. Like, it might not happen this year, it might not happen next year, but any peak we see in cryptocurrency, like, it's gonna hit the peak again. Like, everything's gonna hit the peak again, especially if it has like, I can't think of the word. Like, if it's attached to something, like, it's gonna hit the peak again. So for you to know that there was a time where Bitcoin is worth $64,000 and your first instinct is to laugh and not buy one, you played yourself. Congratulations. Like, I wish I had the extra $3,000 in 2020 to buy one whole Bitcoin. Lost my job in 2020, but regret is immense. My current job is great, but Rich would have seen more. What's Bitcoin currently? Like $17,000, $25,000. And let's see, past 5 years. So what did it peak after? Really, it dropped to 3,000 in 2019. All right, at the beginning of 2020, all right, it wasn't 3,000, it was about $5,000, and then it went all the way up to $60,000 again a year later. Like, bro, you could have made 55K in a year instead of just laugh. You could have made 55K profit instead of just laugh at it for tanking to 5K. You played yourself. Congratulations. These numbers are not right. These numbers aren't right. I don't know what's going on with the Google chart, but I know those Bitcoin price numbers aren't right. Those aren't right. Hi, Tracy. All right, 15 minutes and your boy's getting off here. Appreciate you all for hanging out so much. Click the follow button if you're new. Drop those corgis. Make those corgis shake their ass for your boy. Also become a Love Ranger. We're only 20 Love Rangers away. Let me see the number again. Is it 20 or 23? 23. We're 23 Love Rangers away from 69. Click subscribe. Click the star. Become a Love Ranger. It's only one lunchable month. And you'll get love next to your name. Just like Aisha. And you'll get to use cute emotes. This is cute and brunch day. That's another thing I need to do. I need to make a list. I need to make more emotes. because I'm allowed to now. Have a nice day, you too. $69. I think I If you'd like something artsy, shoot me a message. I have an idea. It's not gonna be artsy. It's gonna be funny. But I'm gonna get off here. I love and appreciate you all so much. Danny, you came in so late today. I love and appreciate you all so much. Click the follow button if you're new. Follow me on Instagram at SuperKenGaming. Click the star. Become a Love Ranger. Drop some corgis for your boy on my way out. Follow me on Instagram at SuperKenGaming. Thank you for the roses. Couch Gallery. Subscribe to me on YouTube, SuperKen TikTok. Follow me on Facebook, SuperKen TikTok. I love you all so much. Enjoy your day. I'll see you tonight in the Love Ship. Goodbye, everybody.